Hi, and welcome to this Yoga Flow class. This is part of my charity series where I'm raising money for Beat Eating Disorders, the UK's main eating disorders charity. So if you want to donate, then absolutely feel free. Otherwise, enjoy the practice, and I hope that it means something to you and that it can help you in some way. Now, I was thinking a lot about mindfulness as the theme for the class today, and well, surely all yoga classes are to do with mindfulness. It's about mindful movement, it's a moving meditation, whatever you want to describe the practice as. But at the moment we're being told to stay alert, and maybe that's a part of mindfulness, to stay alert, to be vigilant. But for me, that sounds really quite anxious. It sounds about, you must stay alert because things are going to be threatening you all of the time. And sure, we might need to feel that in some situations in life, but maybe we don't need to feel that on our yoga mat as though, or at any point, something is going to interrupt, which is going to be startling or alarming. I think that we need an element of balance. And so I was thinking about, what does it actually mean to pay attention rather than to be alert? And this word, to pay attention, I find it such an interesting and beautiful word, because when you look at the definition of the word attention, or to pay attention, it's to regard something or someone else, or even yourself, someone or something, as interesting or important. We don't pay attention to things that are not important to us. If something really doesn't register with our values, or it's just not of interest to us, we're not going to notice it. And those things that we value a bit more, we might pay a bit more attention to, or those people that we value a bit more, we might actually see them as worthy of attention because they're interesting and important to us. And then the definition of attention, in terms of where it comes from etymologically, the root of the word is actually Latin or Old French, attendre. I'm probably saying that incorrectly, but it means to stretch. And it's this idea, and it comes into ballet, if you do ballet, attendu, to stretch the leg. This idea of applying one's mind to an object and to stretch your attention from yourself and make a bridge with your attention to another object or another person. Now, that in your yoga practice could be to really stretch your awareness into or onto a part of the body, rather than just stretching your body without the awareness. So I think it's a really interesting idea to think that, we're coming to class to stretch all of the time. Yoga's all about stretching and about flexibility, but are we stretching our minds? Are we stretching our attention? Are we always doing things in the same old way, where we're not actually paying attention because we don't think it's interesting anymore? It's just old hat to us. Is it important to us anymore, some of these shapes, because they're just things that we've done so much? Or are there details that we don't think are important because they're not relevant to us? We don't struggle with them, so therefore we don't need to pay attention to them, or we will never be able to do them, so they're not important to us because they're out of our reach. So stretching our attention and stretching our minds, just as important perhaps as stretching out our hamstrings or stretching out our bodies. And then the last idea that comes to my mind, but it's not one that I can find in any definition in a dictionary, is that the idea of to pay attention, meaning to tend to as well, and that is within the word tend. And you might think of mindfulness as being a very detached practice, because you sort of sit back and observe and detach yourself from your subjective experience, and then maybe you can see things a little bit more clearly. But the word tend, that's definitely not without some value in it, without care in it. It's somehow an expression of care to tend to something, isn't it? So maybe our attention is purely objective, and we've meditated at such a high level that we don't have our own subjective feelings and judgments and passions about things. But this definition of regarding something as interesting or important by directing your attention onto it, or therefore you direct your attention onto it, that to me sounds like it's because it matters. And whatever we're doing on our yoga mat, we come here and we practice because we think that it matters in some way. And hopefully one of the ways in which it matters is because it's a way in which we tend to ourselves. So rather than just saying, okay, so guys, be mindful in your downward facing dog, just breathe in, exhale, be mindful, pay attention, in a way that really is bland, often that can happen. Really thinking about, what does that actually mean to pay attention, which is a big part of mindfulness. It's maybe not the only part, but paying attention to this moment as it relates to all the moments that brought you to the mat, as it relates to all the moments that will proceed after you've gone off the mat. So that's the spirit in which we're practicing today, and I hope that you really enjoy the practice. That's a very long preamble from me, but it's really important to remember sometimes why we do come to class and why we do yoga rather than just going to the gym. Or how is yoga different from stretching? And there are other ways in which we stretch ourselves in our yoga practice. Good, so we're going to start our practice just finding a downward facing dog and to settle. In your downward facing dog, really try and pull up the front of the legs if you can. If it's too much, you can keep the legs a bit bent and move a little bit side to side, but maybe you're there and you're stretching out the legs more fully already. Up to you. I want you to massage through the soles of the feet, whether your legs are straight or bent. You can lift the heels and lower them down, so maybe that's alternately, maybe that's both at the same time. And really working from the ground up. Shake out the head a little bit. Don't worry too much about doing it right. Whatever you're doing here is enough. Really, really good. And then settle it down. All of us lifting the heels up really high. Inhale. And exhale, sinking the heels back. So you're pulling up the front of the leg. Inhale. You're stretching your attention up the front of the leg into the lower belly. And exhale, lowering it down. Good. Inhale, lift the heels up. And exhale, sink the heels down and away. One more time. Inhale, lift the heels up. And exhale, bend the knees almost to touch the floor and look forwards between the hands. It should be like a crouching plank. Really, really nice. Inhale, stretch the legs up. Exhale, push the heels down, downward dog. Slowly start to walk the feet up towards the back of the hands, but then you take them slightly wider than the hands. You start taking the bum down towards the floor. Elbows coming in into prayer squat, and it might not be your deepest prayer squat. You're really trying to broaden across the chest and open up the hip, but not painful. Heels don't have to touch the floor. And then bring the hands behind the head, interlace the fingers. Inhale, and then exhale, take the arms off the legs and try and bring the elbows to touch. Really round here. It's like your worst posture, Malasana prayer squat ever. Yeah, really rounding. And can you pull a little bit on the crown of the head or on the back of the skull, wherever the grip is, and stretch out the back of the neck. Bring the chin towards the chest, try and push the breath in between the thighs, expanding through the lower body. Good, and then bring the hands down on the floor. As you lift the legs up, you turn the feet to parallel, and you heel toe the feet towards each other and really keep the legs bent. Inhale, chest lifts. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chest lifts and legs straighten a little bit. And exhale, fold. So this is your halfway lift. Inhale, halfway lift. You're starting to work the legs a bit more. Exhale, fold. Last time, inhale, halfway lift. Stretching the breath up from the floor. Exhale, fold. Slowly uncurl through the spine, keeping a bend in the knee. Pulling up through the front of the legs, eventually rolling the shoulders back. Good, inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale, release the arms through the middle. Maybe hands coming through prayer, maybe out to the side. Two more, inhale. Stretching your energy up, your attention up towards the sky. Exhale, hands coming through. Last time. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, hands come back down in prayer if that suits you, either side of the body if that suits you. Good, step the feet together if they're not quite together, coming up to the top of your mat. And throughout, you're stretching your awareness onto different parts of the body, using your breath almost as an expression of that. Inhale, reach the arms up, palms touch. Exhale, fold. Weight comes forwards into the toes. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, left leg goes back, right leg stays forwards. Good, come onto the fingertips. And then push the hands back and lift the chest up so you're in an arrow shape. So you're not lifting all the way up. Extending from that left heel up through the crown of the head. Really, really nice. Inhale, reach the arms forwards in line with the ears. Exhale, push the breath back. Really stretch the arms here. Inhale, reach forwards. Firm foundation in the legs. Exhale, pushing back, stretching the fingers away from each other. One more time, inhale forwards. And exhale, pushing back. Inhale, reach forwards and all the way up. High lunge. Exhale, hands come to prayer. Now can you lift that back heel even higher from the floor and really poke us straight on that left leg. Inhale. Exhale, left knee travels all the way down to the floor. Keep the back toes tucked under. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, left arm outside the right leg, right arm outside the left leg, and squeeze the legs towards each other. Look back towards the back of your pelvis, or more accurately your bum, and check that it's in line. So you don't have one half sticking out more than the other, and really squeeze in towards the midline. Start to spin the chest, maybe look over the right shoulder. Really nice. Close, twist. Inhale. And fully exhale, you can move a little bit more from the belly. Really, really nice. And without exploding, you inhale up through the middle, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands come down, stepping back to plank position, kicking back through the heels, pushing forward through the hands. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, downward facing dog. Shake out the head. Yeah? Really let the tension go in the back of the neck, roll the shoulders out. Inhale, roll forwards to plank. Exhale, knees down, and lower down in chaturanga with the knees down, so it's not the chest and the chin towards the floor. Inhale, cobra, and exhale, push back, seat to the heels, downward dog. Bend the knees, look forward, step or jump forwards, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, you pour the breath out. Good, inhale, halfway lift. Chest stays lifted as the right leg goes back, so there's no need to look back. Come onto the fingertips. And the movement starts with pulling the lower belly away from the thigh as you push the hands backwards, so it's led from the core. And as you inhale, stretch the arms forwards. Your breath is stretching your attention all the way to the fingertips. Exhale, pushing back, spread the webbing between the hands. Firm up the right glute. Inhale, reach forwards. Really nice. And exhale, push that air out of the way as though it was a bit heavier than air. Good, inhale, reach forwards. Try not to clench the toes on the floor. Exhale, pushing back. Last time, this movement lifts you all the way up to high lunge. And you really come up onto the tiptoes of that right foot and really squeeze the right hip forwards, the left hip backwards. Inhale. Exhale, lowering that knee onto the floor, hands can come to prayer, and you don't lean forwards. Keep the back toes tucked under. Really nice. Inhale, reach the arms up, shoulders stay down. Exhale, over towards the left. So it's like you're trying to squeeze that left leg into the midline, squeeze that right hip forwards, and maybe you can spin through and look a little bit over the left shoulder without throwing the head back. So spin through the spine, not just through one part of the spine, not just through the neck. Really nice. Your drishti, your gaze, your attention being stretched from you and your subjective experience onto another object, wherever that is. Good, and then carefully release. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands come down, stepping back to plank. Kick back through the heels. Pull up through the front of the legs. Inhale. Exhale, lower down, maybe full chaturanga or knees down chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog or cobra. So really, really set up the options here. Exhale, downward facing dog. Bend the knees, look forwards, step or jump forwards, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach all the way up, palms touch. Exhale, you either pull through the middle or you let the arms go nice and wide, and then we all join with the palms facing forwards. Good, interlace the hands behind you. Squeeze the whole wrist together and shoot the knuckles down towards the floor, and notice your chest might pop up, and that's fine. Try not to stick the bum out, so keep the legs working in towards each other. Good, inhale, look up a little. And exhale, chin to the chest. Start to take the knuckles backwards and up and keep the wrists touching. So it's not rounding forwards, really going flat on the front of the chest. Yeah? So trying to really contain the ribs into the abdomen, dragging the shoulders away from the ears, and the more you breathe into it, the more you can bring your attention onto those parts of the body. And maybe we don't want to, not just because it's not interesting or important to us, but maybe it's because we don't like how we feel. We don't want to breathe into this part because it feels tight, but the breath makes the space. Good, inhale, look up a little. Exhale, slowly release. So you take the arms down, you bend the elbows first and then release. Palms facing forwards, excellent. Inhale, reach the arms up, flowing with the breath. Exhale, fold into the toes. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step or jump back, plank and lower down. That's one breath now. Inhale, lift up. That's Cobra or upward dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg goes up. Try not to swing the hip open. Good, holding it there. Taking this in stages. Your next breath in, you come forwards. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, foot between the hands. Inhale, rise up, high lunge. We've been here before. And then exhale, out to warrior two. And keep looking forwards. That right hand sort of comes into your gaze, into your eye line. Really nice. Keep pushing that right knee out so it's over the middle of the right foot. Pushing that left heel away. Everything you know about warrior two. And breathing all of the time. Really nice. Inhale, reverse the warrior. Exhale, hold it there. Keep the breath flowing and see if you can peel that right heel off the floor. So really trying to stretch the sole of the foot. Really, really nice. And doesn't that bring your attention into that sole of the foot? Into that kneecap on the right leg? That extra work? But can you still pay attention to the whole picture, the whole shape? Really nice. As you inhale up to the middle, you put the foot down. Exhale, hands come down and frame that front foot. Step back, plank, and then lower down with your breath. Inhale, Cobra or upward facing dog, firm on the top of the legs. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good, take the left leg up. Try not to open the hips. Squeeze the inner thighs together. Point the foot, so you're tondoing that top leg. Pointing it, stretching it. Inhale, forwards, high plank. Exhale, foot comes between the hands. Inhale, rise up from your belly, detaching itself from that thigh, and then open out. Warrior two, smoothly. Keep pushing through that right heel, so those toes slightly turned in. Really nice. Inhale, reverse the warrior. Exhale here. And then inhale, pick up that left heel off the floor. Can you keep stretching your breath up through to the rib cage? Can you keep your attention on the whole picture, not just the bit that is shouting out to you? So yes, that bit might be the most interesting bit because it's calling on your attention, it's pulling your attention. What about the other benign bits, the bits that we do all the time, the normal variations? Good, inhale, coming up, putting the heel down. Exhale, hands come down, step back to plank and lower down, smoothly, one movement. Inhale. Chest lifts, Cobra or upward dog. Don't always do the same one. Exhale, downward facing dog and hold. And isn't it the case right now that we do need to put our attention sometimes onto the boring, mundane things? Isn't it that we need to look sometimes for things to hold on to or gratitude or to really notice those things in our everyday life that can seem so dull but we actually appreciate them when there isn't that much other stuff going on? Really nice, wherever you are, whether you're pedaling it out, whether your knees are bent, it doesn't matter. Inhale, forwards to plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, and notice this is different because your tailbone is up to the sky. Inhale, slide into Cobra, and exhale, hold. Good, so can you push your belly into the mat? Pull your shoulders back as though you're going to clip your elbows together behind your back. Top of the feet into the floor, kneecaps off the floor. Really, really nice. And then inhale, right arm forwards. Exhale, pulling it in like you're grabbing a rope. Really nice. Fingers down. Inhale, left arm forwards. Exhale, pulling it in. So can you feel your breath stretching that right arm? Inhale, reach it forwards. Good, and exhale, bringing it in, and can you coordinate the breath with the attention? Inhale, attention stretching forwards through the fingers, and exhale, bringing it back in, both arms. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, pulling it in. Take it behind you a little bit. One more time, inhale. And exhale. Really nice. Hands under the shoulders. Push back, seat to the heels, tuck the toes. Downward dog as you take the tailbone up. Let it go. Really, really nice. And sometimes it's a stretch to keep our attention on movements we don't really like. Bend the knees, look forwards, step. Or jump forwards, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach all the way up, palms touch. Exhale, Tadasana, however you get there. Really nice. Inhale, chair pose. Brilliant. Exhale, go down a little bit. Weight back in the heels. Brilliant. Is your attention now stretching onto the next thing? When am I going to be out of this one? Can I not be here now? And pay attention. Inhale, look up. And tend to that movement as you surrender forward, fold. Straightening the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, left leg goes back. You keep your chest open. Not so far back as a lunge. Hop it in a bit so the heel comes down and you rise up, warrior one. Everything faces forwards. Left heel kicking back. Glute really, really working. Good. Inhale, look up. Exhale, draw it out, warrior two. So it's like you're branching out and you keep looking forward. Inhale, straighten the front leg. And exhale, reverse the triangle. Really, really nice. Can you reach back through that right arm and firm up that left glute so that you don't collapse into that side of the pelvis? Really nice. Keep looking up to the sky. Excellent. And then inhale, coming up with straight legs. Exhale, re-bend the front leg. Good. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, right forearm to the thigh, left arm overhead. Really try and pull that left shoulder down away from the ear as you stretch the fingers up away from the shoulder. So there's movement in opposite directions. Really, really nice. And then, can you lift your right arm up in line with the ear as well, like you're pulling something down towards you, but simultaneously stretching up through the fingers. Optional, lift the right heel off, and really, really try and point that knee straight forwards. Really challenging. Bring it back a bit if it's too much. Excellent. Inhale. And exhale, heel comes down, and without collapsing, you spin your chest and bring the hands down onto the floor. Inhale, look forwards. Exhale, plank and lower down, softly with your breath. Inhale, float up the chest, stretch the shoulders back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Bend the knees, look forward, step or jump straight into the chair pose. Weight goes straight back into the heels. Exhale, pull the shoulders down, go down a little bit. Try not to think, when is this one going to end? Pay attention by tending to it. Care for the shapes that you don't like, the situations you don't like. Inhale. And exhale, fold chest to the thighs, then straighten the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Good. Exhale, right leg goes back. You keep your chest open. It only goes back so far as you can get the heel down. And then you lift up, warrior one. So everything facing forwards, tight, constrained position. I don't have much time for those kinds of positions. I want to be in the big, expressive, dramatic positions. But can I also pay attention to this? Yes, absolutely. Breathe into it. Inhale. Exhale, open out, draw it out. Warrior two, open the hips. Really, really nice. Inhale, straighten up the front leg. Exhale, reverse the triangle. See if you can really keep both legs straight, that right glute, squeezing and pushing up, rolling the shoulders back, looking up towards the sky, and then straight legs still as you inhale, come up through the middle. Exhale, bend and you float yourself down. Really, really nice. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, forearm to the thigh, right arm overhead. Try not to hunch that shoulder up, but pull it back and down. Kick through the right heel. Excellent. Optional. Inhale the left arm up and draw both the shoulders down and have two side angles. Right side of the body, left hip crease up through the underarm to the fingers. And then maybe lift that left heel off the floor and push your right foot in the opposite direction and stretch out that space between your feet. Really nice. Even if it's not actually getting longer, you get a sensation of it stretching and you're using that left hamstring a bit more. And inhale up through the middle, which you weren't supposed to do. Exhale, you go back over, heel comes down and turn yourself forward. Exhale without collapsing, hands down. Good. Inhale, look forwards. Exhale, plank, lower down. Really nice. Inhale, lifting it up. And exhale, downward facing dog, let it go. And I know there are some other teachers attending the class. We forget things, these things happen, our attention wanders off. And you can choose to judge yourself for that and add an additional problem, really, a resistance, and not accepting, and not tending. Or you can let it go. Inhale, roll forwards to plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin towards the floor, and then glide yourself up to Cobra. Exhale, take the hands off and sweep them back this time. Now, can you really try and move the backs of your arms, your triceps, up towards the sky? Really feeling that strong work. Down that outside edge of the arm, the back of the arm, through to the fingertips. Inhale. And then exhale, can you bring the thumbs to touch? Maybe you can't, but can you keep the arms straight, as though the thumbs are yearning towards each other? Suddenly your attention is really in those triceps. Really nice. Inhale. And exhale, release. Hands coming under the shoulders. Elbows stay in towards the body as you push back. And slowly sink into child's pose. Knees could be wide. Arms either forwards or backwards, and rest it down. Maybe you're not paying attention to this shape because it's easy and it's not of interest to you. But then maybe you need to work harder on the attention in these shapes, not just the ones where your body shouts at you. Good, walk your hands forwards if they're backwards. Inhale, pull yourself up to all fours, and exhale it up into downward dog. Really, really nice. And very similar to what we did at the beginning of the class, start to walk the feet up towards the back of the hands and turn the feet out, heels in, hands coming into prayer squats. Really try and lift out of your pelvis, lift out of your lower back, so you're not rounding forwards, pull the shoulders back. Really, really nice. And then take your right arm out and bring your left hand on the middle of your chest. So see if you can really keep your chest facing forwards. Good, and then inhale, lift up through that left arm. And exhale here. See if you can really spin the chest. Optional, turn the palms so they face backwards and reach around and catch the fingertips. And really draw that left shoulder and right shoulder away from the ear as you look up and stretch your attention out of your pelvic bowl up towards the sky or the ceiling. Really, really nice. And then can you inhale, move the arms away from each other. Exhale, reset, palms touch as you push the knees out. Really good. So stretching out that left arm, right hand comes on the chest. Keep the knees moving out. As soon as you don't have that press anymore, they like to collapse in and you have to use the glutes a little bit harder. Good. Inhale, right arm goes up. Maybe that's enough. It's in the attention to the detail, the embodiment of the shape, not in what the shape necessarily looks like. Maybe you turn the palms and you swim around and catch the fingers. But keep your chest lifted and spinning. Keep that right shoulder down away from the ear, that left shoulder dragging away from the ear too. Really, really nice. And then inhale, reach the arms away from each other, very tight on the hips, yeah? And then hands come back to prayer. Really good. As you bring the hands down, you might take crow, you might not. Yeah, so you might lift and balance, any variation you like. If you're not taking crow, just bring the hands down and really notice that connection into the earth and put your attention there, because that's really what matters. Stepping or jumping back, lowering down. Inhale, lift the chest, cobra or upward facing dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. Brilliant. Bend the knees, look forward, step or jump forwards, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And inhale, sweep all the way up, palms touch. Exhale, release the arms. Great. So hands are coming on the hips, and this is a tondu, so we're going to point the foot and really stretch the front of the leg out. So take the right leg forwards and bring it just maybe slightly in front of your mat, but the big toe is on the floor. Now this kneecap needs to be really lifted up. So when you point the foot in general, you work the front of the leg a lot. When you kick the heel, you work the back of the leg from the glute to the heel a little bit more. So it's like you just put your right foot in a pool of water and you're just dipping the toenail in. Really nice. Inhale, lift the chest, hands on the hips. Exhale, bend that left leg and it slides the right foot forwards. Try and get weight back in that left heel like you're in half of a chair. Really nice. And then inhale, stretch that right leg up. Exhale, slowly put it down, so don't crash it into the water. Good, inhale, stretch that right leg up, pull it up into the lower belly. You should feel that underneath your fingers. Exhale, lowering it down. One more time, inhale, stretching it up. And exhale, can you stretch the bottom leg as well without losing height on the top leg? Really good. And then bend it in. Place it into a tree. So you can use that right hand. And then hands come to prayer. Now that left leg might be starting to shout out with the accumulation of the work on the lower leg. Can you pay attention to that? Take care of that if it's too much, but also notice the rest of the shape. Inhale. And then exhale, spin the knee forwards carefully. Place that right foot down. There's a massive difference between putting down and placing down. And then pedal through. Hands come back onto the hips. And so maybe you're really lifting off onto the tiptoes when you're pedaling through. Excellent. Reset. So to stretch your attention as well as to stretch out your leg. Take the left leg forwards, point the toe, pull up the front of the kneecap. Inhale. Good, and then exhale, bend the right leg. But make sure the weight doesn't shoot forwards into the knee of that right leg. Goes back into the heel, so you could spread your right toes. Really nice, not leaning forwards with the spine. Inhale, lift the left leg up into the lower belly. Good, and exhale, carefully put it down. Can you delay that, putting it down on the floor? Inhale, left leg goes up. Slowly, pulling it in. Keep the right leg bent. Good, exhale, slowly putting it down. One more time, inhale. Pulling it up with your breath. And then maybe as you exhale, you can straighten out the right leg. Keep the left leg high. And then bring it into a tree. As you turn the knee out, you can use the left foot. Just don't press the left foot on the right knee. Either above the knee or below the knee. You can even have the foot on the floor with the heel touching the lower leg. Hands come to prayer and start breathing even more deeply because there's no excuse in this more familiar shape. Really, really try and distribute the weight over that right foot evenly so it's not crying out to you for all of your attention. Really nice. And then turn the knee forward. Exhale it down onto the floor. Good, and pedal through. Hands can come back onto the hips. Really nice. And then settle it down. Feet coming down so to really stretch out the leg. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold into the toes. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step up, float back, lower down. Inhale, float up the chest. Slightly faster movement. Exhale, downward dog. Good, inhale, right leg goes up. Exhale, foot quietly outside the right wrist. Really, really nice. Inhale, lift the right arm up. Maybe you're on the left fingertips or the hand is down on the floor. It doesn't matter, but keep using that left shoulder. Good, and really start to spin your chest away from that right leg. So it's not about getting your belly on the leg, it's about taking it away from the leg. Then you can lean back a little bit. It's really nice. Inhale. Exhale, right hand comes all the way down. Step this right leg back and over the left leg and see if you can keep your hands both on the floor. So you go onto the outside edge of the left foot and you press the right foot into the floor. So this is the right shape for Wild Thing. Can you start to push your hips up towards the sky a little bit? Good, and then inhale, stretch that right hand up, turn the chest, and exhale, right hand comes down. Now one more time if you can. Inhale. Stretching into the shape with awareness, not throwing yourself into the shape, and exhale, bringing it down to plank and lowering down. Could be a good time to put your knees on the floor. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg goes up. Good, exhale, foot quietly outside the left wrist. Lift the chest, open up through the collarbones. Lizard pose, power through the right heel. Good, inhale, left arm up. And then can you take your chest away from that left leg? So not spinning it into the leg, but taking it away. Can you really keep that containment on the inner thighs, but allow the upper body to be free? Really nice. Inhale, broaden out. And exhale, left hand comes down. Now make sure the weight is really in the thumb side of the hand. You're spinning on the outside edge of the right foot and taking the left leg over the right leg. So the left toes start to point backwards. Right leg is straight. Good, and then inhale, left arm lifts and turns your chest. Good, and exhale, it goes back down and you put some weight in that left hand. One more time, inhale. Different variation of wild thing. Good, and then exhale, bring it all back to plank and lower down. Knees could be on the floor in baby chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. Your choice. Exhale, downward facing dog. Really strong. Bend the knees, look forward, step or jump forwards, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, and then bend the legs deeply, chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, hands to prayer. Really, really nice. So, this idea of really stretching our attention onto the leg again, take the hands back, palms facing backwards, and then inhale, sweep the palms forwards, right foot, and exhale, putting it down, left foot. Good, and exhale. So maybe it feels really clumsy. Can it feel like you're really stretching? Inhale, right foot. And stretch out the breath a bit more. Inhale, left foot. Pull the belly back, and then exhale, putting it down. Inhale, arms reach up. You stay in the chair. Exhale, fold chest to the thighs, then straighten the legs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step or jump back to plank and hold the plank. Pop the knees on the floor under the hips. Spin onto the left hand, right foot goes away. Side plank, supported side plank. Really nice. So you've got one line between the left wrist and the right foot. Good, so that left knee is on the floor, and inhale, look up. Exhale, make a fist with that hand and pull the elbow in. Good. So, hold that right elbow into the waist and see if you can push the floor away so much that that left knee can come up and touch the right elbow. So you're really trying to lift that bottom knee. Now, we put this together in a stretching movement. Inhale, knee down, arm up. Exhale, elbow to knee. Do as much as you can. Try not to lose the height. Inhale, put it down. Exhale, elbow to knee, and you keep pushing the bum up towards the sky. Good, one more time, inhale. And exhale, elbow to knee. Hold it there, and then put the bum and the knee down on the floor. Really nice. Turn those right toes up, and slightly strange position, let go of the arms. So it doesn't matter where you are in relation to your mat, your left foot is inside the right thigh, and your right toes are turned up, and this left knee is moved out. So it's not Janu Shasana, where everything faces towards that right leg. It's moved out like a half straddle. Inhale, reach the arms up. Good, and then exhale, fold forwards between these two legs. It's just that that left leg is folded in. Good, and can you keep both of your sitting bones down on the floor? Can you keep pushing that right heel away and stretching down the underside of the leg rather than quite the top of the leg? Good, and can you keep pulling your chest forwards and your shoulders back so that you're not hunched over? Really, really nice. Wherever you are, you start to walk yourself up. You turn your hands to the front of the mat and you take that left leg all the way up to three-legged dog and shake it out. Yeah, so maybe you shake out your bottom leg as well, just let it go. Sometimes we have to shake things off to get them out of our space, out of our attention. Good, inhale, roll forwards to plank. Try and keep that left leg lifted. Exhale, chaturanga, maybe with the left leg lifted. Inhale, turn the feet, upward dog, smoothly. Exhale, downward facing dog. Really, really nice. Roll the shoulders out, spin the weight into the thumbs. Inhale, roll forwards to plank. Good, exhale, knees down on the floor. So the right side, you take the left hand up and the left foot back, but you keep the right knee on the floor. Really nice. So see if you can get that one line between the left heel and the right hand. Inhale, look up. Just the arm, exhale, put it in. So trying not to drop the hip as you pick up that right knee to touch the left elbow. So not lowering the hip to the floor as much as you can. You keep pushing it away. Good, now stretching it out. Inhale, knee and arm move away from each other. Good, and exhale, bringing it in. You have to have the weight in the right thumb. Inhale, put it down. Good, shoulder has to be down. Exhale, drawing it in. One more time, inhale. You're moving it away from each other. And exhale, you're bringing it in. And keep that right shoulder engaged all the time as you bring the right glute down. You relax the left arm and turn the left toes up. Draw that left leg into the right foot. Body facing in between the legs, not towards that left leg. Inhale, reach the arms up as half a straddle. And exhale, fold. Remember, the chest always leads the way forwards and up in a fold. Not rounded, not like you have a shell on your back, but you have a slide on your back. Can you really draw the shoulders back? Can you kick through the left heel? Can you treat this shape as interesting and important to you as other shapes or other dynamic sequences? And keep the breath moving. And often it's the breath that brings our attention into those spaces. There's a whole other load of themes around attention and tension. Where is the tension? And noticing that. Good. Start to walk yourself up and in. Really, really nice. Take your hands to the front of your mat, spin on the left tiptoes, take the right leg up and shake it out. Any old hand. Good. And then can you straighten out the right leg? Inhale. Roll forwards to high plank. Exhale, softly down. Add some resistance. Inhale, float up the chest. Shoulders back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Really, really good. Bend the knees, look forward, step or jump forwards, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend the legs, chair pose. Exhale, Tadasana, straightening the legs, palms face forwards, relax the shoulders. Good, really nice. So paying attention often involves sort of like stretching and straining through our necks, actually. And somebody asked if I could help with some neck release. So we're going to take our arms all the way up, inhale. And then exhale, take the left hand over the right ear. Inhale, stretch the right arm up. And then exhale, turn the right palm out and move that right hand down and move the head over to the left. So you've turned the palm down on the right hand, you've taken it to maybe 45 degrees, and then can you find that perfect spot where moving that right arm to the right angle will give you some kind of stretch down through the neck into the shoulder. Can you open the mouth a bit and let the left side drop down of your face? Yeah? Let the jaw separate so it's lower jaw falling towards the floor. Really, really nice. Let the tongue hang in the side of the face. Letting go of all of these things. Really, really nice. And then slide that left hand over your hair and push into the left cheek to lift yourself up. And then relax the arms down. Really nice. So, not great for the hairstyle, but who cares about that at the moment? Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, you bring that right hand over the left ear. Keep reaching up with the left fingertips. Inhale, turn the palm out. Then exhale, you move the arms away from each other. Yeah, so do it slowly. Be careful. This is one where the subtleties are really important. Separate the jaw. Find that angle that just feels, a good stretch down through the shoulder from the neck, from the jaw maybe. Good, and maybe this is really not interesting you. Maybe it's really boring, or you're like, what is the point? I can't feel anything. I'm not moving, I'm not getting a workout. Things that we really have to deal with compassion and noticing. And I always say, it doesn't have to be your body shouting out to you that makes you pay attention. You don't have to feel a stretch, feel exhausted, feel really hungry. You can notice all the grey stages in between the black and the white. Good, inhale all the way up. Good, exhale, release. Good, so we didn't do the funny hair thing that time. Inhale, reach the arms up. And it doesn't matter, let it go. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step or jump back. Plank, lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Good, exhale, downward facing dog. So some good ways to stretch out the neck there. Inhale, the right leg goes up. Exhale, the right foot comes in between the hands. Inhale, rise up, high lunge. And exhale, hands to prayer in the middle of the chest. Good, so this connection between our thumbs and our chest, really important here. Inhale. Exhale, leaning forwards. Now I want you to lean forward so much that you can point that left foot and put the toenail on the floor. So the Front of the body does not change. That right leg doesn't change. Inhale, left leg lifts up. Using the glute. Exhale, left toes touching down to the floor. Good, keep the hip closed. Inhale, left leg. Stretching it up, tondu. And then exhale, slowly lowering it down. Very slow motion. Good, inhale. Lifting it up, holding it there, and then can you add on the front leg and maybe kick through the heel of the back leg. Inhale, lengthen, warrior 3. Exhale, putting it down quietly. Inhale, rise up, high lunge. Exhale, out, warrior 2, sighing out. We've been here before. Inhale, reverse the warrior. Exhale, hands come down and step back and lower down smoothly. Inhale, lift up. Cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Keep the breath moving. Really expand through the rib cage. These quiet moments, not for tuning out. Bend the knees, look forward, step or jump forwards, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach all the way up, stretching your breath from the feet to the fingers, and exhale, dive straight back down. Surrender down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step or jump back, lower down. Inhale, floating up. And exhale, downward dog. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale, foot between the hands and rise up. Reaching up with your breath, high lunge. Exhale, hands to prayer without leaning forwards. Yeah? So really try and get your shoulders over the hips. Inhale, lengthen first, connection into the thumbs. Exhale, coming forward. So it gives you that little bit of a push-up of the chest, because the chest loves to collapse. Shift the weight forwards, not only into the left toes. Good, and see if you can untuck the right toes and bring them down on the floor. One side might be more stable than the other. As you inhale, you stretch that foot away from the floor. And exhale, slowly putting it down like it's a pool of water and you don't want to make any ripples. Inhale, right foot stretches up away from the floor, really nice. And exhale, slowly lowering it down. One more time, inhale, lifting it up. Exhale, straighten the left leg and maybe kick through the right heel. Really see if you can keep the hips closed and the chest open. Really nice. Inhale. Lengthen the whole time and exhale, bend the front leg, toes touch down, lift up, high lunge. Inhale, lengthen, look up. Exhale, open out, warrior 2 as you spin the hips open. Inhale, reverse, smoothly the whole time, we know this. Exhale, hands come down, step back, lower down. Inhale, float. Up on your breath. Is it feeling like a float? Maybe try spicing it up a bit with a few cobras, downward facing dog. Don't have to always do upward dog. Inhale, roll forwards to plank. Exhale, knees, chest, chin towards the floor. Slide onto your belly. Really, really nice. And then bend the legs. Reach back and catch hold at the top of the feet. Knees do not move more than hip width apart. So really try and keep the inside of the legs working towards each other. Really nice. Inhale, lengthen and lower the belly in towards the spine. Exhale, start to kick off. Start to really push back, but keep that pulling in of your lower belly enough that you're engaging the front of the body to support the back of the body, but not so much that you can't breathe. Really nice. Can you drag your shoulders away from the ears? Really, really nice. And the next inhale, can you move back onto your knees and lift your chest a little bit more off the floor and really try and press your knees towards the floor. Different sensation. Inhale. And exhale, slowly release. Don't explode. Hands come down. Push back, seat towards the heels, tuck the toes. Downward facing dog. Really nice. Bend the knees, look forward, step or hop forwards, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach. And exhale, release. Really good. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, take the left arm out. Palm faces out towards the side, so your shoulder is open. Yeah, so both palms are facing in the same direction. And then you pick up the left foot from the inside. Really, really nice. So really trying, initially, to keep the chest facing forwards, but very quickly we'll start to spin to the left into dancer. Inhale, zip up, lengthen up, and exhale, start to kick and spin at the same time. Yeah, so it's not a bow, it's opening out, left hip on top of the right hip, reach the right hand straight forwards, not down towards the floor. If anything, it's going up a bit. Really nice. And then can you start to let go of that left foot and extend through the left heel? Can you stretch out that left leg? And if you fall over, it's fine. Inhale. Exhale, settle it down, warrior two. Extremely difficult transition. Inhale, reverse. Really nice. Exhale, hands come down. Inhale, step forwards, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach the arms all the way up. Exhale, right arm goes out, palm faces towards the right. So you're trying to open that shoulder so that we can then twist through. Pick up the right foot from the inside. So letting go of the foot, extremely difficult. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, start to kick and spin. So that left leg stays stretching up away from the floor. We have to really draw all of our attention into our balance, don't we? If we want to attend to it and really make it smooth. If you're falling over, then be careful when you let go of the right leg. Really try and kick through the right heel. Reach the arms away from each other. Stretch the breath from the chest to the fingers. And then exhale, putting it down. It's like a flying half moon. Warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, hands come down. Inhale, step forwards, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Good. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend the legs. Step or jump back to plank and hold. Really, really nice. So holding your plank, so you can really take the shoulder blades away from each other, roll out the shoulders, pull them down, keep the ribs contained, squeeze the glutes, kick back through the heels. We all know this. Good, and then knees down, sit back on the heels and round yourself up. Really, really nice. So, some more work on the front of the leg, stretching it out. And for some people, this is really attention grabbing, because it can feel really tight. So the idea is you take the right leg forwards, flex the right foot, fingertips on the floor either side of you, and then can you lower down inside that left foot? So you might need to roll out the calf flesh a little bit, but be really, really careful. Both sitting bones down on the floor. Really, really turn that right foot up and see if you can lift out of your pelvic bowl. Really nice. Inhale, lengthen, and then exhale, maybe walk the hands back a little bit and don't flare the ribs up, contain the ribs. Really nice. Maybe coming down onto your elbows, maybe going all the way down, but that left knee must stay on the floor. You might reach behind you. Try and avoid popping the ribs up and really try and contain them. Tuck the tailbone under. So trying to work that left knee down to the floor wherever you are. So this is half hero, Ardha Virasana. Really trying to keep the knees powered up, so not opening out to the side and putting pressure on the back of your pelvis. Really, really good. Are you paying attention? And is that because you have to? If it's really easy for you, and you prefer dynamic movement, can you pay attention to the slow parts? To the constrained parts? Good, and wherever you are, you carefully come back up and you avoid twisting on that left knee. Really good. Rolling forwards, taking the toes under and tucking those left toes under and pushing back to really iron out the back of that knee. Inhale, look forwards, come onto your fingertips, and exhale, straighten your right leg. Good. Really keep your chest open. Maybe come up onto those left tiptoes a little bit more and pull your chest even further forwards. Good, and then you might fold over that front leg, up to you, keeping the heel high on that left foot. Really nice. Bend the front leg. Inhale, step forwards, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step or jump back to plank. Really good. Working through the thumbs. And exhale, knees come down, sitting back on the heels. Good, this left leg comes forwards. You might need to, use as much support from your hands and your shoulders as you can. Take the right calf flesh out a little bit. I'm not a massive fan of that, but if you need to do that, then do. Sitting inside carefully, so not sliding down and slamming yourself down. Really energetic through those left toes, turned up, stretching out the sole of the foot. Inhale, weight even on the sitting bones. One side could be quite different from another, and exhale, start to move into it. So not like a death drop, yeah? Trying to really make it smooth, it's yoga. Seeing if you can really keep the elbows in, or you take them over when you're lying down. Keep pushing that right knee down to the floor. Is that right glute active? Or are you just collapsing into the pelvic bowl, yeah? See if you can really activate. Good. And these quads, they store up in the front of the leg. Lots of tension from sitting with flexed hips all day. So we're stretching them out, that accumulation of our lifestyles. Good, slowly start to come up. Really, really nice. And then carefully rolling forwards onto that left foot, tuck the right toes under and straighten out the right leg. Maybe you have to ease into it, not throw yourself into it. Inhale, look forwards, come onto your fingertips, chest stays lifted as you exhale, straighten the left leg. Then you hop the right foot in a little bit, pull the chest forwards and up a little bit, up onto the right tiptoes is fine. Open chest and long spine is the priority. Check you're pulling up the front of the left leg, kneecap supporting the back of the leg with the front of the leg. Good, and then roll onto that front foot, bend the front leg, step forwards, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, and slowly release the arms and roll up through the spine. Good, eventually the shoulders come back, palms facing forwards, continue the movement. It's always nice to reach your full expression of height as you uncurl and then pull it back down. Hands through prayer or palms facing forwards, and we meet in Tadasana. Really nice. So this last sequence is bringing it down a little bit in intensity. It's not been the hardest of classes, but sometimes ending the week or in a time when you need a bit of nurturing, it can be good to take the edge off a little bit. But really take care of these last sequences. It's not a race to the finish. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forwards with care, right down into the toes. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step or jump back, lower all the way down onto your belly and then slide into Cobra. Maybe you turn your Cobra into an upward facing dog from your belly. And exhale, downward facing dog, smoothly, not disjointed. Inhale, right leg up. Exhale, right foot in between the hands. Inhale, rise up, high lunge, inner thigh squeezing. Exhale, out to warrior two. Really nice. Inhale, reverse the warrior. And exhale, reach towards the front of the room. Really try and lengthen. Excellent. Challenge here. Can you lean in, pick up the inside of your foot, and get back into that dancer shape? If we go back out of it, why can't we come up into it? Really nice. Inhale. And exhale, bring the legs together, front of the mat, chair pose. Inhale, back in the heels, weight down in the heels. Exhale, fold, chest to the thighs. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step or jump back, lower down, all the way onto your belly and see if you can come into Cobra or transform that into an upward facing dog. It takes a lot of strength. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg goes up smoothly. Exhale, foot quietly between the hands. Inhale, rise up. Same intensity of concentration. Exhale, roll out, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. It's more one movement, one breath. Really flowing that. Exhale, reach forwards. Good. Really take that left rib cage forwards beyond that left leg. And then float up, bend the right leg. And start to reach that right leg up, opening the hip. Really nice. Inhale, lengthen. Keep the breath going, especially when you're balancing, and then bring the legs together, chair pose, heels down, chest up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, left leg goes back, knee comes down on the floor, really well done. Inhale, look forwards, you can have the back toes tucked or untucked. Exhale, push the right heel forwards, toes up, Ardha Hanuman. So you might need to walk that left knee backwards a little bit. Really, really try and get the chest forwards. Good. So you're either staying here or you're pushing out towards full Hanuman. But when you push out to full Hanuman, you don't stay with the same spinal shape. You try and lift the spine up so you're exactly over the hips with the chest. Now keep the back toes tucked under if you can. So your choice, staying lengthening the chest forwards in Ardha Hanumanasana, half monkey god pose, yeah? Jumping from India to Sri Lanka, or maybe you don't feel like you're jumping all the way to Sri Lanka from India. So you stay here, or you can go all the way out. And if you even go a bit of the way out, try and get upright over the hips, not too much on the front. Work the back leg as well. Good, wherever you are, you bring it back in. It's already gone, not phased. Not taking all of our attention on something that's already gone. Step forwards, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach, all the way up, palms touch. Exhale, dive straight back down, surrender into the toes. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, right leg back, knee down on the floor. Inhale, look forwards. Now you keep your chest open, pull the shoulders back, and then turn the left toes up as you push back. And you probably want that right knee underneath the hip, yeah? So really try and squeeze the inner thighs together, really get that feeling of drag down the left heel into the glute, but also push away from the glute. It's a bi-directional movement. Energy whirring around the body. Attention, focused, stretched onto the whole of your experience, not just your hamstring. Your breath going all the way to the extremities, maybe you kicking it out. Yeah, so even if you go a little bit, try and get shoulders over the hips, and you have to really squeeze the inner thighs together. If you're going all of the way, try and keep the back toes tucked under so that you're not opening out the hip. Yeah? So you're trying to really keep that right hip facing forwards, and it's fine to be here really working on the inner thigh, squeezing together. Don't even need props if you're squeezing enough on the inner thigh. And then everyone coming forwards. So you roll weight onto that left foot. It's not always the most graceful exit. So Hanuman maybe wasn't that graceful when he came back from Sri Lanka. Step forwards, inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach, all the way up, palms touch. Exhale, release. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, bend the legs to fold, and you're really surrendering down, and then sweep the arms all the way back up. Inhale, straightening the legs. Good, exhale, kind of surrender and collapse. Now make this as expressive as you can make it. Inhale, like you're pulling and stretching up your energy from the floor. We all need a bit of an uplift sometimes. Exhale, fold down, collapse down. Good, one more time, inhale, reaching up. Any spinal shape, and exhale, going all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step back to plank. Right knee outside the right wrist, pigeon. Good, so really take that left leg back, really lift and open the chest, back toes tucked or untucked, hips closed. Inhale, look up a little bit as you roll the shoulders back, and then exhale, take it forwards. Unless you're doing another variation, I really don't mind. Squeeze the inner thighs together, maybe making tents with your fingers, keeping the armpit muscles active, or completely relaxing. Just make sure that you're not rolling over to one side. Yeah, so keeping the inner thigh really squeezing. Really, really nice. Good, and then slowly walking it back in. Hands coming under the shoulders. Inhale, tuck the back toes under. Exhale, plank. Join the right leg and the left leg. Good, left knee outside the left wrist. Slide back as you lift the chest up. It's that same thing as when you come into Hanuman. You have to lift the chest up as you slide the back leg back. Inhale, lengthen. Right glute on, left glute on. Take it forwards. Breath moving towards the floor all the time. Really active through the lower body. Upper body could be more relaxed. Lengthen the back of the neck. Try not to stick the chin up. Really, really nice. And slowly walking it in. Good, hands down on the floor, thumb takes the weight. Inhale, look up. Not coming to plank, but rolling over onto the left side. Taking both of your legs out, so I'll face you. Both of your legs go out really wide. So this is the full straddle. Yeah, so we have half a straddle with one leg folded in. We're going straight between our legs. So really, really firm up the legs. Now point the toes this time. So we're really getting that feeling of the tondi that we had earlier on. Yeah, the front of the leg really working. Inhale, reach the arms up. And then exhale, start to tip forwards. And see, maybe you can keep your arms off the floor. Maybe you need to bring the arms down on the floor. Now, what's appropriate at this stage of the class for you? Yeah, as you surrender into it, maybe you can bring the chest down. You can push your legs a little bit wider. But is that really the point? Stretching is not just stretching the body in our yoga practice. We can all stretch in the gym, with wonderful online stretching videos. that aren't yoga-based. But there is a point where yoga is different from just stretching. And lots of people all over the world throughout time are trying to capture what that is. And sometimes it's by our own experience we make our own understanding of what yoga is. But it's something about connection, something about attention. Connecting our attention into or onto our experience, maybe. Slowly start to walk it up. Come on to your sitting bones, hug the knees into the chest. You might need to reorientate yourself so you're on your mat. Lengthwise, hug the knees in. Good, and then inhale, lift yourself up. Really try and lengthen the back, knees towards the chest. So lastly, we're going to come down onto our back slowly in a minute and come into bridge pose or wheel pose. Now, if you really want that shoulder stretch and chest opening, bridge is as effective if you take the hands underneath and interlace the hands. It's probably even better for your shoulder blades, yeah? So I know a couple of people asked about that, and that's probably working at home like this all the time. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, slowly round back. Try not to collapse it down, yeah? Notice the placement rather than putting the back down. Place it down. Good, you can touch your heels. They should be there for you to touch, otherwise they're too far away, so draw them in. Knees parallel, so they're not opening out, and they're hip width apart. Good, so choose, are you doing bridge, which is pushing down and interlacing the hands underneath, or wheel pose, which is upward facing bow, everything facing up with the hands either side of the ears. So as you inhale, you press down to lift up. Maybe you come onto the crown of the head first if you're going into wheel, and then push up and lengthen. Yeah, up to you. Really nice. So if you're in bridge, you are also breathing the whole time, stretching the spine out, stretching the whole of the front body out, which is probably being really flexed in, the spine flexed forwards, the hips flexed with the knees bent all day. A lot of us spend like this, and this is to really stretch that out, but also stretch out the day, let it go. Stretch out the effects of the day on the body physically. And notice how that's really related. It's not just stretching. Wherever you are, you inhale and exhale, slowly coming down through the spine. You tuck the chin to the chest if you're in the full wheel, and you slowly settle the lower back and then the pelvic bowl onto the floor like it's your most precious bowl. Good. Arms either side like a cactus. Drop the legs over towards the left and the right. Alternate it, look in the opposite direction. Good, like you're winding down through those hips, which might be a little bit more oiled up after some of those warriors, some of that Hanuman. Good. And so, as a teacher, for me, getting things wrong during the class, really hard to work with. Have to let it go, but as a practitioner, gone through the class, you could easily now just be thinking all the bits that you didn't get right, all the bits that you didn't think were good enough. Or, oh, I can't do yoga because I can't do this. Let it go. Maybe it's a stretch for you to let it go. But pay attention to it, accept it, and then you can let it go. Or try. Bring the knees up, slide the legs out, palms face up, down by the side of the body for Shavasana. So as you come to full relaxation, your mind may be pulled all over the place. And instead of thinking now about stretching your attention onto the body, the breath, think of it much more as resting your attention. With the rippling of the breath, with the slowing down of the heart rate, with the dissipating of the heat from the body. And maybe you observe that you need to have your attention fixed on something to feel comfortable. That you need to be doing something, or to be busy, or to have a goal. And if things are like that all of the time, that is an overstretch. To tend to yourself must involve resting time. To relax. And to not need to do anything to be worthy of that care. Slowly start to deepen the breath. And maybe movement comes back in quite rapidly to the body, or maybe it creeps in a little more slowly. It really depends how you arrived on the mat, or the impact of the practice on your body. Take a bigger breath in. Open the mouth and just sigh out fully. Good, inhale, hug the knees in. Exhale, sigh out. As you move back a little bit side to side, backwards, forwards, and find your way up to seated. It might mean rolling to the side, it might mean rocking straight up. Again, it really depends on that energy. Any comfortable seat. Find that balance on your sitting bones. See if you can roll a little bit side to side. Good. And then wherever you're sitting, bring your hands onto the chest. So you can use this very universal symbol of prayer, or hands just pressing onto the chest. Just kind of your heart space energetically, not necessarily anatomically. Good, and as we've noticed and played around with our attention and what we find interesting or important or worth our care and tending to, I wanted to take away a message that, however difficult it can feel to believe this sometimes, we are all worthy of paying attention to. We might find it very easy to pay attention to and care for others and not for ourselves. But we are as important and interesting. And it might be a stretch to practice self-care more than a slogan. But it's one that we deserve. And one that might be a little bit easier with these practices of yoga and coming together, even if it's virtually, and at least being willing to try. So you inhale, blink your eyes open. If they're closed, reach the arms up. Stretch up, and then exhale, hands come through prayer. Bow yourself forwards and ending your practice if you wish, saying Namaste. Namaste, everyone.